Good morning students, myself Sukhdev from Shakti and Math. During the last lecture, we have completed the properties of first natural resources, that is air. But before starting the next natural resource or properties of next natural resources, that is water, 2 points remaining and 2 questions are also there on page number 18. What is the question? Dip an uncorked inverted empty bottle in the slanting position into the water in a wide container. What do we observe? Now one figure is given, 3.5 properties of air. In that you have seen one empty bottle which is inverted into the big container which is filled by the water. So what did you observe in that? So you will find the air bubbles which comes out from that water. Why it is possible? Because in the water there is oxygen is present in the absorbed form. So that oxygen or dissolved form oxygen is present inside the water. Therefore, when we keep the empty bottle inside that water in the inverted form, we have seen the air bubbles. Okay. Now there is second question: what changes take place in a balloon on filling air in it? Now you know that with the help of mouth, when we fill the balloon, we have seen that balloon will get flattened. Okay, like this. Okay, so because inside the balloon there is air. Okay, so that's why balloon is changing its size. Okay, so because this balloon consists of air molecule inside. Understand? We come to know from the activities above that air has properties like occupying space, then having a certain volume, and having mass and weight. First, when we start this chapter, at that time we know that the different properties of air. In that first property we have studied, that is air having mass and volume. Okay, it is the first property. Then you also know that the air having certain volume. What is meant by volume? The space occupied by any object, it is called as its volume. For example, suppose this is a square or one object is present on the land or on the surface. So this much portion of the object, it is called as its volume. Okay, means the space which is occupied by certain object, it is called as its volume. Okay, so air molecules also have certain volume. Air is a mixture of very fine particles of some gases, dust, smoke and moisture. During last year we have studied the natural resources. In that we know that air consists of many small dust particles, then gases, mixture of gases. Okay, so that when, for example, in the air there are some particles are there, dust particles, then barrier gases. When sunlight falls from the sun toward the earth's surface, it gets scattered, it spread in all directions. Why? Because all the particles which are present in the air, they change the direction of the sunlight. So that's why this sunlight or this light scattered or move in all directions. This is called as scattering of light. Okay. So when the rays of light falls on the minute particles, that is dust particles which are present in the air, it changes the direction of the sunlight or it changes the direction of sunlight in all the directions. So it gets scattered everywhere. So this phenomenon of spreading the light due to this dust particle, it is called as scattering of light. Okay. Now next point is temperature regulation. The earth receives energy from the sun. You know that sun is the hottest object. Okay. So from this object the heat is spread toward the earth's surface, and this energy is reflected by the earth in the form of heat. Now for example, we take the example by one diagram. First, for example, now this is sun. Okay, this is sun. sunlight falls downside on the earth surface. For example, this is earth. So this heat or this sunlight spread all over the earth surface, and after reaching the earth surface, that sunlight gets reflected into the air. Understand? Means when this sunlight falls on the earth surface, it gets reflected back in the space, so that all the layers or the space which is surround the earth or near the earth surface, it also gets warm. Why? Because the sunlight which is falls from the sun toward the earth, it gets reflected in the space, and that's why the air becomes warm. Why it is possible? Because the constituent of air surrounding the earth, such as water vapors, then carbon dioxide, so that heat is absorbed by the water vapors which is present in the air, as well as carbon dioxide which is present in the air, so that the air which is present around the earth surface, it becomes warm. Okay. So the heat which is absorbed by the water vapors and carbon dioxide, they give that heat to the other constituent of air. Okay. So as a result, the earth surface remains warm and they have become suitable for the living world on the earth surface. Okay. So due to the warmness of the air, all the living organisms live on the are able to live on the earth surface. Okay. If there were no air on the earth, the average temperature of the earth surface would have been very low. So if the water vapors or the air is not present around the earth, that heat is not absorbed by the carbon dioxide or air, so the temperature of the earth may be very low. Okay. So next point, transmission of sound. Now you know that, for example, if the horn of the vehicle we have heard, so from the large distance, so that sound is received by our ear with the help of medium, that is air. Okay. So all the sounds that we have we hear reach us through the surrounding air. The density of air also changes due to the change in the temperature. In winter, the density of the air increases. We can hear the whistle of a distant train very clearly early in the morning in the winter season. Now, when you observe the hearing of any whistle during the winter season, we hear that whistle very clearly in the winter season and compared to other seasons, because in the winter season the density of air is more. That's why we can hear the sound more clearly during the winter season. So therefore, air is useful as a medium for the transmission of sound. When two people speak with each other, at that time we can able to hear the sound with the help of medium, that is air, because air is present near the earth surface. Okay, so that's why we are able to receive the sound waves. Now next point is property of water. Okay, here we completed the first point of the topic, that is property of air. Now we are going to start the next point on the next natural resource, that is water, the property of water. Okay. Properties of water. Now, one question is there: what are the states in which water is found? Now you know that the water is found in all the three states, that is gas, liquid and solid. Means solid, liquid and gas. These are the three states of water. What inference will you draw from the pictures alongside? Now on page number 90, there are some pictures are shown. Okay, from that picture, what is the inference? Water occurs in liquid state under ordinary condition. Now at natural conditions, the water is present in which state? In the liquid state. Okay. Water is a fluid substance. Water does not have its own shape. Now you know that when we pour the water into the such type of container, when we keep the water or fill the water in the glass, then when we fill the water in the bottle. So for example, this container is filled with water, then this glass is also filled with water, and this bottle is also filled with water. So the water does not have its own shape, but water occupies the shape of the container. Means when we fill the water inside the glass, the water shows the shape of the glass. Okay, so the shape of the water depends on the shape of the container. Okay, so water does not have its own shape, but water has its own volume. So water occurs in liquid state under ordinary temperature. Water does not have its own shape, but it has its own volume. It can pass through small holes. Now you know that when we pick the any container or we make the hole, that water falls from that hole. Understand? So water can pass through small holes, or it seeps very small gaps or cracks in the soil. On pouring water in a oil cladded dish, for example, when we take one dish which is covered by the oily surface, and when we pour the water inside that plate, what will happen? So water does not spread in the plate, but that water is from the droplet. For example, one plate is there, it is covered by the oily surface. When we pour the water inside that plate, so it forms small droplets of water like this. Okay, so such type of droplets of water are seen in the dish. Understand? So why this happens? Because water have less density than the oil. Okay, that's why the oil forms a layer on the water, and therefore the water forms the small tiny droplets in the dish. Okay, take a plastic bottle more than half full of water. Mark the water level on the bottle. Now one more activity is there. For example, when we take one bottle, okay, like this. In that bottle, you fill the bottle with 3/4 portion of the bottle. Okay, like this. So fill the bottle with the water. Now keep this bottle upright in the freezer. Now in the refrigerator, you keep this bottle in the freezer for how much time? For 2 hours. Okay, you keep this bottle for 2 hours in the freezer. So keep the bottle upright in the freezer for making ice. Open the freezer after couple of hours and observe. You will see that the water has changed into ice. Now you know that when we keep this bottle into the fridge, what will happen? The water which is present inside the bottle is converted into ice. So what is the question? Now look, you will see that the water has changed into ice, and note the level of the ice. You will find that ice level is higher than the water level before freezing. Means when the water is converted into ice, at that time the level of water increases. Why this happens? Because when ice is formed, at that time it expands. Means when water gets converted into solid state, at that time it gets expanded, and therefore the volume of the water increases. Okay, so therefore now the previous layer of the water up to this mark, so we will find the increase in the level of the water when it is converted into ice or solid state. Understand? So due to the expansion of water, when it converted into water to ice, at that time due to expansion the level of the water increases into the water. Okay, so on freezing, now one question is there: how much was the increase in the volume of water? In what proportion did it increase? So in what proportion there is an increase in level of water? The answer is 9.05%. Okay, so when water is converted into ice, or liquid state of water is converted into solid state, there is an increase in volume of the water, and that increase by 9.05%. Okay. Now, one more activity, page number 20. Take a bucket of water, drop many different kinds of articles in it, make separate list of the articles which sinks in the water and those that float on it. Now, one diagram is given, 3.7 above diagram. In that you have seen there is a bucket which is half full or half filled by the water, and in that the different articles are seen. For example, sharpener, then pencil, scale, okay, rubber. After that, eraser. Then one spoon is there, okay. Then compass. Such type of instrument are seen in the bucket. So out of which sharpener, pencil, then rubber and scale, they float over the water, and the articles like rubber or spoon and compass that sinks or goes down inside the water. Okay. So why this is happen? This is happen because sharpener, then pencil, rubber, scale, they have density less than water, therefore they have less density, therefore they float on the water, and objects like eraser, then spoon and compass, it having more density than water, therefore they sinks or they goes down or at the bottom of the water. Okay. So take some water in a pot. Now one more activity which is given or diagram is given in the figure 3.7 downside. Take some water in a pot and add a few pieces of ice to it. Observe what happens. When we put the pieces of ice inside the water, what will happen? The ice which floats over the water. Okay, why? Because ice having less density than water. Okay, so ice is lighter than water. When water freezes to form ice, it becomes lighter than the original liquid. Means when water is present in liquid state, it has more density, and when it changes into solid state, that means when it gets transformed into ice, at that time the density of ice becomes less. That's why ice floats over the water. Okay, when water freezes, that is when it transforms into a solid state, its volume increases. Therefore, the density of ice is less than water. That is why the ice floats on the water. Understand? So, what is meant by density of water and what is the unit of density of water? Now it is given in one table. The interrelationship between the volume and the mass of a substance. The space occupied by the substance is called as volume. I already told you what is meant by volume. Volume means the space occupied by any object. It is called as its volume. Means whether that substance is present on the land or in the air or in the water. So the space which is occupied by any object, it is called as its volume. Okay. So now what is the unit and how we measure the density of water? It is given in the table. Now the interrelationship between the volume and the mass of a substance. Now what is volume? The space occupied by a substance is called as its volume, and the store of matter in the substance is called as its mass. So what is the formula? Density is equal to mass upon mass divided by volume. Okay. So therefore, now density, what is the unit of mass? Mass measured in kilogram or gram. Okay. And the volume is measured in cubic centimeter. Therefore, density is equal to, means the unit of density is equal to gram per cubic centimeter. Understand? So this is the unit of density. So mass is measured in grams. So this mass is measured in grams and volume is measured in cubic centimeter. So therefore, the unit of density becomes gram per cubic centimeter. Understand? Hence, gram per cubic centimeter is the unit of density. So it is called as unit of density, gram per cubic centimeter. Hence, gram per cubic centimeter is the unit of density. Now one question is there. If the mass of 1 liter of water is 1 kilogram, then what is the density of water? Okay. So The answer is 1, because what is the mass of the water? 1 kilogram, and volume is 1 liter. Therefore, 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1. So therefore, the density of water in this example is 1. Okay, understand? So this is about the unit of density. Now the next point is analogous behavior of water. That point we will learn in the next lecture. Okay, thank you friends.